most storied venues in college football. Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, Indiana. Little gets the blood boiling, quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. It's the Navy midshipmen and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Holly Rowe is down on the sideline.
The Notre Dame head coach told me before the game, obviously it's every team's plan.
Follows his blocks. It's Mobley. Turning it on. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
And that's not a surprise. We all knew and talked about coming in. Who are they going to feature? They give it to him the first play, and he chews up and gets a first down. We're going to see more of that. I'm excited to watch this matchup, but the defense, Jesse, they better get physical. They better get better in a heartbeat.
Well, and they've got to fight some emotion right now, too, because the fans are excited. The offensive line is absolutely juiced after that opening play. They're now getting lathered up. They're now getting excited. They're pointing to the sideline. Run it again. Run the same play again.
Got it in the middle. It's Mobley. He'll pick up a few on the play, just enough for the first down. They'll mark it right at midfield. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll send the tight end in motion. Going to audible here. Let's see what they do. Straight ahead, it's Mobley. Gain of about 4 sets up a 2nd and 6. Guys, let's take a step back and talk about Notre Dame. With just a few games remaining, they're atop the conference standings. Jesse, how hard is it not to look ahead at this point?
Really, really hard, because everybody's talking about the conference championship, who you might play. You still got to deal, you still got to take care of business on the field today. That's the most important thing. It's been a phenomenal season up to this point, David. Great things ahead, potentially, but you got to win this one today.
Well, and I think that's what's really important. It's a great start, and now it's about finishing the season. To be at the top is awesome, but you can't lose a conference game or 2 conference games and get yourself out of the mix here right at the end when you're so close to the finish line.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
Right down the middle. Big tight end makes the grab. First down, still on his feet. Notre Dame right back to the line.
Well, you got to give this quarterback a ton of credit because he showed tremendous confidence on that throw. That wasn't just trying to throw to the sticks. That was being aggressive and throwing it down the field. Not a high percentage throw, but he had confidence in his guy to win one-on-one, and they keep the drive alive.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Motion from the back. Trying to pound their way forward. He picks up a couple to the 31. Ninth play of the opening drive coming up, but now they face a 3rd down.
Sweep. Freeze. Return. Ready, go.
Here's Carr to throw. Got him downfield. Kearney on the Jets. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business. 1st and goal.
And, man, that's not a surprise that they come to their go-to guy early. This is an offense that's so much fun to watch, and it's because they know who they are. They know how to get the ball to their playmakers. And on the first drive, Palmer, Get your guy a touch. Get him involved. You know receivers got some feelings, Jesse. I love that they're getting him lathered up and a touch early in this football game.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys who feels like he's open every single play, so it is a good idea to get him going early. For the defense, that's a bit of a jab in the face right there, because you came into this game, you know who's going to get the ball. You know where they're throwing it, and you've got to do a better job now disguising your coverages to try and limit him and take him away as much as possible.
This is the most important part of the field. What you did to get down here means nothing. Nice job by this defense, staying confident, staying aggressive, and forcing the third down and goal.
Still some work to do here on 3rd and goal from the 3. Trying to barge their way in. He'll be stopped short. Could not drive his way into the end zone, and now they're faced with 4th and goal. Trying to bully their way in. And he breaks. They'll run this play from the pistol. Here's C.J. Carr to throw. Out wide right, it's Gibson. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24. The Irish, after the chunk play through the air, back to the line. Looking downfield, it's Carr. Ball is loose. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover. Here comes the Fighting Irish out to get this drive started. That fumble in plus territory just ruined that last drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating when you got the offense moving a little bit and you put that thing on the deck, Jesse. But move on, reload, forget about it.
At the end of the day, it's just fundamental football, right? They practice it all week. 5 points of pressure. Every ball carrier has to have it. They just got to do a better job moving forward.
Makes the tackle at the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards and enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Throwing, Carr. Rolls right. Slings it downfield. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Notre Dame. They've done a really good job in high school recruiting. Just last week, a commitment from a big-time 4-star defensive back. David, what does a commitment like that do for the program?
I mean, so exciting. Like, once you start creating momentum in recruiting, it's really fun to watch it. And getting a guy like that in the back end, in the secondary, that's so important to your defense, man, does it get you excited. And other guys now say, hey, I might want to go play with that cat.
Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 20. They want to throw it. Fires to the wideout. Out wide left, it's Porter. He's trying to get it in.
What a fantastic job after the catch by the wide receiver. Made 2 different people miss. Really, really hard to do. Fighting for extra yards shows you his quickness and his contact balance. And all of a sudden now, down close to the goal line, this offense is humming.
They'll send the back in motion. Here's Gibson. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. Here's a give to Gibson. Going right. Here come the Irish back on offense. Really good balance on that last drive. They mixed it up all over the place, Jesse.
Yeah, how nice, too, to have the defense on their heels, because at this point, they don't know what's coming at them. They had problems stopping everything that last drive did.
So I think this defense would come back with a little more aggressiveness. I mean, they let them have what they wanted. Now they got to dictate to this offense a little bit more.
Got there right as the ball did. Jarred it loose. It'll be 3rd down. now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the second down misfire. Carr. Turns it upfield. Oh, what a caught! He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big-time pickup on that one. Notre Dame coming to the line with another first down. On the run, it's Mobley. Hit and dropped, and he got nothing on first down.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Uh-oh, look out.
And it's really nice, whether it's RPO or not, is having a defensive line that stones the offensive line, takes away the gaps. It doesn't matter what your read is if you're winning up front of that defensive line.
3rd and 6 yards to go. Finds his man on the RPO. Got room at the 35. They'll ride him out of bounds after the good pickup spotted at the 25-yard line.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that play.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll run it with Gibson. Defense comes up with a stop, but not before he moves the chains and takes it inside the 10 to the 8. The defense uses a timeout. That's their first. And that got under their skin a little bit, having to use the TO after giving up the first down. Here's Carr to throw. Fires to the end zone. Touch!
Man, what great offensive execution. You talk about addressing a 2-minute situation and using almost all of the clock, adding to your lead and creating more momentum going into the half. Great execution by this offense.
Jukes his way for more. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. As we close in on halftime, a timeout is taken here. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Running inside, it's Gibson. Makes one man miss. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. We played 2 quarters here and reached halftime, and we will now check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Notre Dame will kick it off to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They love nothing more than to take advantage of that early second half turnover and cash in and tack a little bit more onto this lead. And he stopped, brought down at the 18. It'll be enough for the first down. Notre Dame now operating in the red zone. Sends it back in motion. From the red zone, it's Gibson. Just smothered on the play.
Man, when you go into the half and you're down, like, that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their guys, and I like the way they started this second half so far. Physically, flying around, doing a great job stopping the run. They got to play like this the rest of the game.
Just outside the red zone at the 21, but it's 3rd and long. Spits it out to the back. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down. And they decide to trot out the kicker. This try will come from the left hash, and he'll try to curl it in from 38. He splits the uprights. And they'll... Notre Dame comes onto the field ready to go to work. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
Man, I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
Here comes the heat. Found a seam. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. Handoff for Jarrett. Out across the 30 to the 39 after getting 10 on that one.
Really good decision-making by the quarterback. Don't get greedy. Yes, I can make reads, and I can pull it, and I can throw it all the yard. If I can take 10-plus yards and continue to do that and continue to be smart with my decision-making, this offense is going to be very difficult to stop.
You just got to wonder how frustrated this guy is, especially after the success he had their last game out, but just nothing going in this one. He has not been able to get himself into a rhythm. There have been way too much penetration up front defensively. They have been able to stop him in his tracks.
Timed it perfectly to knock it free and forces a 3rd down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Defense has been looking so good on this drive so far. They already set up 3rd and long, and now they take all the throws away down the field. Great job in coverage. Great job reading the QB's eyes. So there's nowhere for him to go with it. He's got to throw it away.
That's a perfect example of not... Final stanza of the game, and we'll start with the first down. They'll start on the ground with Jarrett Gibson. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
This offense has really done a nice job on the ground. Like, the ground game has been solid, man. Nice job opening holes, running the football. They've been consistent with the run. And as this game creeps along, right, if they can continue to do this with the lead, this is going to be a game that they're going to have in hand.
Got an alley. Pick up of 8. It's now 2nd and 2.
They've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, and there's certainly still plenty of football to go, but this is where you'd love to control the flow of the game, right? You want to dictate everything to the defense, and you do that by running the football. That was a really nice run. This offensive line is firing off late. Looks like they're getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is a good sign for the offense.
And man, is it nice just to have this guy right here. Like, give him the football, and they're going to give it to him early, and they're going to give it to him often. And a lot of times we see, man, late in the games, just like right here, he makes those big plays, wears down the defenses, and he is a handful late.
That's why a good running game is a coach's and quarterback's best friend when you're trying to put the lid on the game. Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. Changing the routes with his receivers. Quick give. It's Mobley. Hit and drop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
Now, you want to be a great run defense, your DBs have to be great tacklers. And I love the way he comes up, sees the run. I know he makes the money in the back end covering passes, but when you get a guy that can fly up and make tackles, man, does your defense go to a different level.
There's a reason you drag the record books to the recycle bin in a rivalry game. Upsets, and we've got one looming. Looking for a gap. It's Mobley. And there were some collisions in there, and the D finally stops him short of the marker. Whistles as we have a man down on the field. Now, this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on fourth down. Carr to throw for it on fourth. Lets it go to the end zone. Trying to get the corner. Pulls it, trying to get the corner. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. Offense working from the pistol. The give, and tick, 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 tick. Just a pickup of a couple out to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and a nice job by this defense. This is critical moment, right? We got to get the football back. They're backed up, thank goodness. Force a punt here, get the football back so we can make some magic here in this fourth quarter.
Defense all over it. So the defense uses a timeout here. 2:08 remaining on the clock. They didn't want it to get down to the 2-minute stoppage.
Big third down for this defense. Listen, you've got to get the ball back. You know what they're doing. They're trying to run the football, but we need the clock to be on our side so our offense has some time. Got to make a stand right here on third down.
Makes his way to the 17, but not enough for the first down. Defense will stop the clock. 2:04 remaining. They'll have the 2-minute timeout coming as well. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. Not a lot of room to field this one. Taken down right away. This offense has it with really good field position. On the move, it's Mobley. Tackled behind the line, and he'll lose one on the play. Wanting to stop the clock on defense, they use their third and final timeout. And now what will they come up with on this second down play? Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34. And the last thing they need is to squander this great field position facing a 3rd and long. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
And finally, you're seeing some life from the defense. They've been struggling all game long up to this point, but back-to-back sacks on 2 consecutive plays, they're at least still trying to fight back in this game.
Converts on 4th down. Still going. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one. The Fighting Irish call their first timeout. And they'll still have 2 timeouts left for the rest of this game. They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off. How With that defense getting back there, he'll lose a couple.
And the defense, man, playing aggressive, playing uphill, playing in the backfield. Nice job getting penetration, getting that pass before it really even gets started. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Nice job of the defense.
He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. Timeout is called by the offense. 16 seconds left in the game.